The Houston Texans are on the verge of a financial masterstroke that could redefine their entire competitive window for 2024 and beyond. Within the walls of NRG Stadium, the front office is quietly preparing a move that unlocks over $14 million in immediate cap relief while securing a dominant offensive cornerstone. This isn't just a standard contract adjustment. It is a strategic strike designed to arm this roster for a deep postseason run. But as the clock ticks on the offseason, one massive question remains. Will Nick Caserio pull the trigger on this extension before the market shifts again? Nico Collins is the name on everyone's lips inside the building right now because he holds the key to the next phase of Houston's roster construction. After a breakout season where he proved to be a legitimate #1 target, the front office recognizes that his current deal, while stable through 2027, represents a massive opportunity for cap manipulation. By executing a new extension today, the Texans can actually lower his immediate hit and free up exactly $14.72 million in spending power. This isn't just about rewarding a player who carried the passing game. It is about the surgical precision required to navigate the salary cap in a championship window. Nick Caserio has already shown he isn't afraid to get aggressive, having already secured guys like Danielle Hunter and Dalton Schultz to ensure the foundation of this team remains unshakable. However, the situation with Collins is uniquely beneficial because it allows the team to spread out his money over future years, giving them the flexibility to strike again in the secondary or on the offensive line. We are talking about the difference between being a good team and having the resources to become a great one. The sources I talk to indicate that while there isn't a desperate rush, the potential for this move is being discussed as the final piece of the offseason puzzle. Locking him in for his peak years while simultaneously creating a $14 million war chest is a win-win that most GMs can only dream of. But as we look at the numbers, there is another looming figure in this defensive room whose contract situation might actually complicate how Caserio manages the books for the upcoming season. If the Texans decide to pivot their financial focus elsewhere, it could change the entire timeline of when this extension actually gets signed and delivered to the league office. The leverage is shifting. And with other star receivers across the league seeking massive paydays, the window to get this deal done at a favorable rate for the organization might be closing much faster than the public realizes. If they wait too long, the price for excellence only goes up in this league. This move could be the difference between a division title and a Super Bowl appearance for the Houston Texans. Do you think Nico Collins has earned a massive extension right now, or should the front office wait to see if he can replicate his elite production for another full season? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments because this cap space could change everything. While you're down there, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this video. It helps us keep bringing you these exclusive insider updates directly from the facility. Don't miss out. Nick Caserio is the architect behind this entire vision, and he is playing a high-stakes game of chess with the Texans' salary cap. While the Nico Collins extension is the most logical path to creating $14 million in immediate room, Caserio is also looking over his shoulder at the defensive side of the ball. Specifically, we have to talk about Will Anderson, who is another cornerstone player rapidly approaching a historic payday of his own. The internal debate among the staff involves balancing these two massive future contracts while keeping enough cash on hand to make a late summer splash in the secondary, perhaps for a player like Reed Blankenship or another veteran defensive back. Caserio has a reputation for being meticulous with contract structures, often using one-year deals to maintain flexibility. But the jump to a long-term extension for a player like Collins signifies a shift in philosophy. It means the Texans are ready to commit to their core for the long haul. My sources suggest that the front office is weighing the risk of Collins' past injury history against his undeniable upside as a top-tier wideout. Last year, he was virtually uncoverable, and that version of him is worth every penny of a new deal. If Caserio moves forward, it signals to the rest of the AFC that Houston isn't just happy to be here. They are building a sustainable powerhouse. The move with Collins would allow the Texans to restructure his existing money, effectively pushing the larger cap hits into future years when the league-wide salary cap is expected to rise significantly. This is how the best teams in the NFL stay on top without losing their best talent to free agency. However, the timing is everything because every day that passes is another day the market for elite receivers fluctuates. We've seen how one massive contract elsewhere can reset the expectations for everyone, and Caserio knows he has to be the one to set the pace rather than react to it. The complexity of these negotiations often happens in the dark, but the goal remains the same: maximize the talent around CJ Stroud while the rookie contract window is wide open. If they can solve the Collins puzzle, it sets a precedent for how they handle Will Anderson and the rest of this young, hungry roster moving forward into 2026 and beyond. The real-world impact of freeing up $14 million cannot be overstated for a team in Houston's position. This isn't just extra money sitting in a bank account. It represents the ability to fix the lingering holes on the offensive line or add a high-end starter to the secondary. DeMeco Ryans wants a defense that can suffocate opponents, and having the financial wiggle room to add a veteran mid-season is exactly what championship teams do. If the Texans lock in Collins now, they aren't just protecting their quarterback's favorite target. They are ensuring that the offensive identity remains intact for the foreseeable future. Looking at the roster, the wide receiver room is the engine of this offense, and losing momentum on a deal like this could create unnecessary tension. The future of this franchise depends on these types of savvy maneuvers. We are seeing a front office that has transitioned from a rebuilding phase into a full-blown contender mindset. Every decision made by the coaching staff and the scouts is now filtered through the lens of winning a ring. If they can manage the cap effectively by extending Collins, they avoid the nightmare scenario of a contract dispute during the heat of a playoff race. It also allows them to be buyers at the trade deadline, which is where many Super Bowl runs are actually solidified. The trajectory of the Texans is pointed straight up, and this financial flexibility is the fuel for that ascent. By securing the peak years of their best offensive weapon, they send a clear message to the locker room. If you produce at an elite level, you will be taken care of. This cultural shift is just as important as the numbers on the spreadsheet. As we move closer to the season, expect the conversations around this extension to intensify as both sides look for that middle ground. The roster is already deep, but with another $14 million to play with, Nick Caserio could turn this into the most talented Texans team we have ever seen in the history of the franchise. Ultimately, the potential extension for Nico Collins represents more than just a contract. It is a declaration of intent from the Houston Texans. It shows that this organization has the foresight to manage its resources aggressively, while rewarding the homegrown talent that makes the engine run. For the fans, this is the moment you have been waiting for, a front office that operates with the sophistication of a perennial winner. It means no more losing star players because of poor cap management and no more being spectators during the biggest moves of the offseason. The significance of this move will be felt in every deep post-route Collins runs and every win the team tallies this winter. It is about building a legacy around a young core that can dominate the AFC South for a decade. But I want to know your final verdict on the strategy. Is $14 million in cap relief enough to justify a massive long-term commitment to a receiver with a history of availability issues, or should Houston spend that money on the defense instead? Drop your take in the comments below because the debate is heating up inside the building. If you want to stay ahead of every breaking news story and insider report involving your Texans, you need to be part of this community. Subscribe to the channel right now and turn on those notifications, so you never miss a beat as we follow this developing story through training camp. Like the video if you believe the Texans are headed for a Super Bowl run this year. This is a new era in Houston football, and the best is yet to come. Keep it locked here for more. We will see you on the next update as the master plan continues to unfold in the 713.